The thought that may be running the show. Hello, I'm the psychological fitness nana, Lucy. Welcome to the 5 daily habits for psychological fitness. These habits are not another list of things that you need to do perfectly. They are small, practical ways to build more steadiness, confidence, and connection into everyday family life. Today's habit is notice one belief. A belief is a thought that can begin to feel true. It may be a belief about your child, a belief about yourself, a belief about what family life should look like. And often we do not even notice it's there. We simply feel the pressure it creates. Let me give you a familiar example. It's a school morning. Your child is taking too long to get dressed. They're upset about every small thing. They cannot find the right socks. You've already reminded them 3 times. You're watching the clock, and underneath your frustration is a thought that may appear. They're doing this on purpose, or I'm going to be late again because nobody listens to me. That thought may only take a second, but once it arrives, it can shape everything that follows. Your voice gets sharper, your body gets tighter, the morning begins to feel like a battle. Now, that does not make you a bad parent, it makes you a human being trying to make sense of a difficult moment quickly. Our minds are always looking for an explanation. They want to help us predict what will happen next, avoid mistakes, and protect us from problems. But when we're tired, worried, or under pressure, our minds can make quick assumptions. It can make mistakes. A child's distress becomes defiance. One difficult morning becomes proof that everything is going wrong. Our teenagers' silence becomes, they do not care about me. A hard conversation becomes, I've ruined our relationship. And one sharp moment from us can become, I'm failing as a parent. That's why this habit matters, not because we need to police every thought we have, but because when we notice the belief, we can create a little space around it. And in that space is where we have choice. We can ask, is this the whole truth? Perhaps your child is not trying to make the morning harder. Perhaps they're overwhelmed or tired, or perhaps something happened yesterday that they've not yet found the words for. Perhaps they do need a boundary, but not the story that we've built around the behaviour. And perhaps you're not failing either. Perhaps you're a parent having a difficult morning. There's a difference. Let's think about teenagers for a moment. Your teenager comes home, goes straight upstairs and answers every question with, fine. The belief may be, they're shutting me out. And sometimes that may be how it feels. But another possibility may be, they do not yet know how to explain their day. They need some space before they can reconnect. They're trying to manage big feelings on their own, learning how to be in the world beyond you. Look, this does not mean that we ignore real concerns, and it doesn't mean that we pretend everything is fine. It means that we stay curious for long enough to avoid treating our first thought as the only explanation. So here's the practice for notice one belief. The next time you feel yourself becoming tense, irritated, worried, hurt, pause for a moment and ask, write it down if you can. What am I believing right now? What is the story in my head? You might notice the story to be saying, I have to fix this immediately. This behaviour is about me. I should be coping better. I'm believing this one moment tells me everything about our family. Once you've written it down or thought it, listened into it, try this sentence. This is a belief, it's a story in my head, and it may not be the whole truth. That's it. You do not need to replace it with relentless positive thoughts. You do not need to tell yourself that everything is wonderful. You simply need to make room for another possibility. For example, instead of my child is being impossible, you might say my child is having a difficult time. I can still hold the boundary. Instead of my teenager doesn't want anything to do with me, you might say they may need more space today. I can let them know that I'm here. Instead of I'm getting this all wrong, you might say, look, this is hard. I am learning as I go. That's a different way of meeting family life. It's not softer in the sense of avoiding reality, but it is steadier, more accurate, more compassionate, and it's likely to help you choose the next response you actually want to make. So for this week, choose one moment a day to ask yourself, what am I believing right now? Is this the whole truth? What else might be true? If you can write them down, even in your phone or in a notebook, not to judge yourself, but just to notice the patterns. Because once we tune into the beliefs, it has less power to run the whole show. Continue with my 5 free-day psychological reset. Download the full 5 daily habits tracker. I'll leave a link in the comments below. Inside Healthy Minds for Parents, you can continue with learning more about the habits that form in the stories that we tell ourselves and explore the deeper pathways that can help you not only practice these skills, but build them into your real family life. You don't need to change everything today. Just notice one belief. I'm the Psychological Fitness Nana, and this is Psychological Fitness.